our show. So come on in and take a seat. Warrior class, we got the keys. Dun, 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 dun. To get you where you need to be, just study our show, and you're gonna grow like crazy. Watching you will see. Dun, 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 dun. Warrior class, we got the keys, just watch our show, 'cause it's for you and your babies.
Welcome to Warrior Class.
With a teacher whip ass.
And you will too if you pass.
Hey, it's the Warrior Class, the importance of balance and how to improve it episode.
Yeah,
Balance.
So first we're going to get to the news.
When we say balance, we mean a well-balanced.
Right.
So,
we don't mean we don't mean a balanced meal, or we don't mean
What about chakras? We're talking about
we got another show. We got other shows for that kind of balance.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the news, a couple things that I saw that was very interesting to me is one, which I thought was just really, really interesting. Okay, there's a excuse me. Ooh. I didn't know that GNC is on the store that sells the the supplements and everything, that they are owned by China. I did not know that. And the interesting thing about that is that it's a GNC on at least 85 Army bases. And so I think that's a little bit of irony of I don't know what you call that, but it doesn't seem very productive to have. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if China is the enemy. I don't know what's going on because I'm not the politicians. I'm just saying they seem to be in competition at the very least. I just think it's some kind
of they're strategically placed.
Yeah, I think there's
they've been thinking about it.
For me, I'm just like, I mean, this is who you get your supplements from.
Right.
You depend on for your health. I'm a little perplexed by that information.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think a lot of the a lot of people buy things from GNC because they want to get jacked. They get the different protein powders and
creatine,
whatever else. Yeah, exactly. And I could see that being popular for people in people in the military, certain people.
Yes, I would think that would
Spider-Man said, "I feel the domestic enemy currently poses more of a threat than the foreign enemy." Oh yeah, certainly. What I was going to say is, you got Church's Chicken in every hood too.
Yeah,
right. I don't know who owned that.
Well, right. There's a rumor that is owned by the Klan, but I'm not sure.
That's been out for a long time too.
Right, but I long time. When I was in college, I was starving one night, and I was walking and all down Georgia Avenue in DC. All of the stores, all the restaurants were closed except for Church's Chicken. I said, "No, sir." So I will not go on Church's Chicken. You ain't gonna get me.
Oh man, when me and you was traveling, we couldn't. I mean, it wasn't nothing but crap out. At certain times, it's like the crap stay open for you. Got to do it. They try to trap you into that. Now, so I would say this because I agree with. I can only see the enemy in front of me that's causing a lot of the issues with me. But at the same time, what I do understand is we're looked at as Americans,
Right.
So I don't get away from the fact that foreigners look at us as Americans.
Right.
There's a lot of foreigners that have stereotypical ideology about how Americans are, how they think and how they move, and that goes for us too. I see a lot of videos with so just by saying that, meaning I don't think China love me.
Right.
I don't think they're
gonna what China's doing in Africa. You know, I mean, I
don't think they say. Yeah, I don't think they say, "Hey, spare the Negroes. We're gonna bomb. If we do bomb, let's not go over here to these, because Negroes ain't never done nothing to us." I don't think they care enough to either way.
Even the AI. Remember the AI commercials they just did? They're kind of clowning America and how, you know, no one in America wants to do those jobs that they do in China, like the sewing and all that different stuff. They had us right in the mix.
Yep, we was definitely in those videos. So that's one thing I think we should pay attention to. So the other thing is this book that I came across. Well, I'm not trying to really glorify the book, but it's important because it made me look at some other stuff. It's called let me put it back here. The book was called The 5-Hour School Week. And I thought it was really good because this book, basically this family decided to homeschool. Their child was in kindergarten. And what they realized was, if we're not really bull jiving that much, we can get almost everything they do in kindergarten during the whole day in about an hour. Like, it's really only about an hour worth of work when you break it down, is what they had came up with. So right. once the child moved up into elementary and junior, then they realized, well, wait, we can get most of the stuff can get done within 4 to 5 hours, and then we still got time to do things that the child actually likes to do. And so it basically just highlighted the importance or how powerful homeschooling can be. And if you look at a lot of statistics of children that are homeschooled, they go on to be more entrepreneur spirits. And you just see accomplishment-wise, they're getting a lot of things done. The homeschool, this generation more than most have went to homeschooling, and you're starting to see a result as those children now take the workforce. They're not being employees, they're being employers. So I think that's something important to look at, pay attention to. And we all don't have that option. Sometimes it takes a lot of sacrifice, to do something like that. So I just thought it was really, really interesting, Yeah,
the Danish, they only go to school, I think 3 hours a day, something like that.
Yeah.
Now, when I used to homeschool for just 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. And that got everything, and they would transition from the homeschool to go to a regular high school, and they would flourish, So now right. Yemi didn't. She went to a regular high school for 2 years, and I had to take her out because they tried to do mandatory vaccination. They said, we're going to vaccinate the child, then we're going to tell you that we've done it and we'll fully inform you. I was like, no, the fuck you will. That ain't going to happen. So we took her out. Now, I've never said whether I had vaccinations or not, but I guess you can guess whether I've had. But even if I had, I'm not with no mandatory vaccination of no children, man.
Yeah, me neither. Not the children. I'm getting an echo.
Excuse me, it's not vaccine related, but as far as the homeschooling goes, that's what both of you are saying is right on par with the children's ages. Like, there's a well-known chart that's out there as far as homeschool goes that shows like children under a certain age, you only have to do it for an hour a day. When they get a little older, then it's 2 hours. When they get up to, like middle school, close to the beginning of high school, then it's like 3 hours. So it gets, there's a little more, of course, if you think about it, that you have to go over with them. But yeah, it's definitely not like an 8-hour school day. A lot of school day is just fluff,
That makes a lot of sense when I think back how after about 3 hours, I would start skipping school in high school. And it made sense. I think after about 3 hours, I felt like I had enough. So by the time lunch came, boom, I was gone and went to the beach. But, that's neither here nor there. And I still got through. I graduated. So
Johnny says Africa's relationship with China is not perfect, but is nowhere equivalent to Africa's relationship with the West. No, it's not. I said no, but I mean, hell, my relationship with Murder Joe ain't the same as my relationship with Killer Mike or Killer Tony, but it's still a bad relationship for me.
And it's still developing. We don't know what, just like you talking about the GNCs being placed strategically near military bases or on military bases. We don't know what China's plans are eventually for Africa.
Brittany Bowman said China's intentions are probably similar to the West, though. Let's be real. I think so.
They're walking them along. They're finding where they can have all of the ports in certain countries, like they've done that in different places in Africa.
Even when I see the videos, I'm gonna speak on this. The Africans doing kung fu. That disgusts me, man. I can't stand it. One, you have your traditional martial arts there in your country.
Yeah.
But you don't want to mess with that. And they'll call that's thugging. That's that's being a thug. If you're training this Chinese shit and speak their languages and do the the kung fu kicks and shit. It doesn't make no sense. And the people that post that, and they be like, "Ooh, look at this." I know they're ignorant as hell.
Special.
They're ignorant as hell. They don't know. They have their own thing, and they're just glorifying this Chinese martial arts stuff. When I see that, my sister sent me a video once, and she was like, "This is really sad. This is sad." They have the kung fu uniform, all of them. They doing the kung fu, and they even got a place in Africa, and it's looking like China. I said, man,
that's
they did a number on us, man. Because I mean, I wanted a kung fu peasant suit growing up, and those and if you had them shoes, you was a bad mofo. Damon Wayans told a story about how Keenan used to walk around in the hood with the kung fu suit and those shoes on and nunchucks, and Damon saw him get his ass beat. And he's like, "Yo, you the nunchucks, Keenan." But it shouldn't work in real life. But
and first of all, Chinese are not using nunchaku. Nunchaku is Okinawan. So they don't even use that. They don't even have a weapon equivalence to that.
And it wasn't even a weapon.
In the Philippines, they have an equivalent weapon. That's why, and in fact, Bruce Lee, he was not taught nunchaku. He was taught the Philippine, whatever they call the nunchaku.
Right.
That's what he was taught.
And originally, it wasn't even supposed to be used like that. They kind of gave it to Bruce Lee to kind of work it because it was really used as handcuffs, kind of how to cuff people and pull them up and carry stuff. So anyway,
isn't that Harvard rice too? Something like that. I feel like I've
it
was some kind of rice whacker or some job.
Yeah. So, I get what
a rice thrasher is called.
I get what Jadarian is saying. It's not outright, and it's not the exact same thing. And maybe it's more perks to that relationship, but I always think of the fact that we have no allies, man. We have no friends out here, and I think we have to move in that fashion. So the other thing I wanted to
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the final boss in the game of death. True. But he had on a daishiki, but he was not doing African martial arts.
Yeah. But they didn't have a representation of African martial arts to show, so they just came with what they could. But I like the theory. I like what he was trying to do. I like what he was trying to do. So another interesting thing that I just learned this weekend was meat packers, right? All the meat packing companies that they are.
Is this something nasty? Is this something nasty? Meat packers?
No. I'm not about to get nasty. This is the same as the Chinese and the GNC thing. I didn't know that all the meat. So I didn't know there's only 4 main meat packing companies. First of all, there's only 4, and out of those 4, guess how many did BlackRock own?
Who is BlackRock?
4. BlackRock is a company that has came lately. They've been getting a lot of publicity because of how low key they actually try to be, and it comes to find out they own most of America.
And they own the 4 meat packing
corporation.
They own all 4 meat packing corporations. You look up how much property, how much assets that BlackRock actually owns. But I thought it was just very interesting. Then you got to look at who owns BlackRock. I ain't trying to go into all that. They're the biggest financial holding company in the world, Spider-Man 7285 says. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is true. So it's just and they own all the pharmaceutical companies, if you didn't know, which I'm not even about to get into that. But
something like 10 trillion assets under management. Damn. Only BlackRock I knew was the Blackstone in Mecca and the Blackstone Rangers in Chicago.
We're not talking about those, sir. Even though they might own them too. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right now, when you think about that and think about the boycotts, which I'm not saying that we shouldn't boycott things, because I think it at least leads to kind of a solidarity mindset, especially among people who wouldn't normally have that type of mindset. But I mean, when you think about one corporation owning all of these and people saying, okay, well, we're not going to buy our meat from those 3. We're going to buy our meat from that one, and they're still getting all the money.
Well, like Oscar Mayer gets you like that too. I used to work for the Oscar Mayer company. I used to do executive protection for them, right? And on their wall in the cafeteria, they have I think it's 500 companies that they actually own, like Little Debbie's and all kinds of Kellogg's and all kinds of shit. Man, you wouldn't think. I don't mess with Oscar Mayer. I bet you do.
And that's why the biggest campaign, the most important campaign dealing with food, meat, whatever it be, is buying local. Buying local helps resolve a lot of these problems, because you got this. If you got one person on the meat packing, all the meat packing companies, they moving like a cartel. It's just what it is. They doing what they want, and they going right through regulations. So they don't care about what's healthy or anything. So with that being said, try to buy local as much as possible. Research for yourself, man. I'm not going to spend too much time in stuff like that, because what happens is when we don't use our own deductive reasoning, our own common sense, we end up doing stuff like thinking dandelion is weed that we need to spray chemicals to destroy in our yard, the same chemicals, you know what I'm saying, that that's put on all of our foods. And those pesticides, and I say dandelion
detox you from some of that stuff.
And I actually say dandelion on purpose, because I grew up looking at dandelion and it was weed, and I pulled it up every time I saw it in the yard, and you hated to see it in your grass because you want your grass to be pretty. So you got to get rid of all the dandelion. And dandelion is the one thing in your yard that can actually save you from liver issues you may have, all type of detoxification qualities that dandelion actually has. And you can just take it and boil it. You can take it, dry it, and use it like a herb for your foods. There's a lot of things you can do, but if you don't know something, it doesn't exist. And so you really got to research, man, and do your own homework out here. We got some comments up here.
I was going to say about the meat packing thing. I know a few people who I work with who I don't have all the details, but there's some farm that they go to, and it's not a Black owned farm. It's like Amish people or something like that. They have an agreement with them where they purchase an animal when it's born, you know, and then they raise it, you know, they pay them to raise it or whatever. And then or it may be, you know, I'm sure it's more than one, but they slaughter just those animals. And then they periodically come and get the meat from those animals, if that makes sense.
I was talking with Baba's wife about meat in general, like the same conversation. This is funny that we had this conversation like a week or two ago when I was actually asking if you know, what should I start getting back to eating meat again for some reasons, for health reasons, things like that, introducing meat back in my diet. And before y'all it's like jump too crazy, I've been vegan for almost, I think, like, I don't know, about almost 20 years, I think. So sometimes you have to implement certain things to back in your diet depending on how long you do what and how your blood type and all different type of things. Most people need, if you're in America, most people need to be vegan for at least a few to 5 to 10 years to get all the detox out of their body. So anyway, I had this conversation with her and she was telling me how her family used to go and purchase animal similar to you in like South Carolina, so I think it was somewhere, or Alabama.
Yeah, it was somewhere close. It was like another state that neighbors Georgia. Yeah.
Right. Yalagoon family would purchase an animal and go half with another family.
Yeah,
or 3 ways with a family.
Yeah, we still do that. Go half and we buy a cow.
Exactly. So that's something to think about doing. And that's going to help you financially, even though you're spending a lot at the one moment, you're going to have a lot of meat that you can save and different things of that nature. So that may be something that we want to look at. BlackRock has. This
is interesting, Jadarian. I hear some vegans implementing lamb.
Yeah, so I can speak to that. What that is so long-term veganism for a lot of people that you may have been vegan for 20 to 30 years. In some of those cases, if you don't learn if you don't learn all that there is that you can learn about being vegan, it doesn't just stop with I'm not eating meat. And so what a lot of people don't know is what we talked about before, like spinach. Me and Baba just had this conversation. Spinach and kale has, is it called oxalates? Mm-hmm. I believe. In those, which prohibits the nutrients from all food that you ate with the spinach from being absorbed. And so what happens sometimes is the only way you can get back to it's not the only way, but the quickest way when you suffer from like all these lack of nutrition and your body is going through cramping and different type of things. Some nutritionists put them on, I don't want to say the word wrong. There's a special, the type of meat that is called, I can find it, but it's for certain animals that roam and graze like lamb.
Right.
And I forgot what it's called though. I got to look and find the word, but that type of meat, that type of red meat, and sometimes it's just that alone is enough to, I erased it. God darn it. But that type of meat alone is enough to get your red blood cells, your white blood cells back, your count back, and getting you back into health and reversing some of that dis-ease. It is true. So, yes.
Love chickpeas with callaloo, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, not necessarily in that particular combination.
Yeah. So nutritional supplements really don't First of all, let me just say I'm not giving any medical advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Supplements don't work. They really don't work. And when I say nutritional supplements, I meant you can go ahead, but I'm talking about the capsules and pills that you buy from it could be basically from the GNC. A lot of those don't really work because you need the combination of the way the molecules are in the plant. You need it exactly like that for it to actually unlock different things. So if you don't, so a lot of times you can get some nutritional value out of it if you open up the capsule, take it with food at the same time, pour it on your food and different things of that nature, then you can get something out of it. But a lot of times the way it is prescribed, basically, and the fact that it's encapsulated in petroleum makes it null and void. So we don't want to spend to this. It's not the health segment. It is the health segment, but it's not the health series. So we're not going to go too deep in that. But yeah, definitely. Right, not for the nutrients that comes direct for
Only news I have is go see Sinners. Sinners to me is the best horror, and I've seen probably definitely seen all the major horror films, but even the B level horror movies too. But go see Sinners. It's the best horror film that I've seen.
I agree. And just I'm sorry, just so you know, it's not gory, it's not that type of horror movie. So if you're one of those people that doesn't want to see, like you thinking it's like Jason or Freddy or something like it's not like that. So
ruminant animals. RUMINANT.
Oh yeah. A-T, yeah, H-E-E, ruminant.
A-N-T. Ruminant animals only is what a lot of nutrition. I had a long conversation with this woman who cures herpes and different things on, she's a nutritionist. If you know, her name is Queen. I don't know how to say this. She just got her Ifa name and she just told me she was going by something else. But she just got her Ifa name and it's spelled
Queen of Four?
No. You know she's been had her. This is Queen Alufu, but the last name is Ayinke. 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 Queen Ayinke on she's on Instagram. I know her as Tara. Her name was Tara S Detox. That's actually what her page is, Tara S Detox. But she does the full body clean. She's the authority on holistic herpes health and rebalancing before and after full body cleanses. And for somebody that this is all she does. So she actually does reverse herpes in people. And I've been knowing her for like 10 years. Just via social media. We talk back and forth all the time because she was raw. She actually married, what's his name? The guy, he was best friends with Loyola Africa. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. But she actually married him, and he was a raw vegan for a long time. His name is right here. Let me see. She doesn't say it. Does she say his name? No. She said she just called him an OG vegan. But yeah, he was a raw vegan when he was when he was friends with Dr. Africa, and they got married, and he started having health issues and stuff. So it helped him out. So somebody to look her up. She definitely knows what she's doing. One out of 4 people got herpes, supposedly. So somebody in the chat, one of y'all got it. Y'all need to talk. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be if we had a 4th person a fourth host for Warrior Class. That
Right. See, there's only 3 of us, so none of us got it. Whoever joined in most of the time, they might be suspect. I don't know.
I had some gator recently. Tasted like sea rubber.
Sea rubber.
it was cooked wrong then, because I've had delicious gator.
Delicious. It tastes like chicken.
It doesn't taste like chicken, but it tastes good. Snake tastes like chicken. I can't eat snake now; it's a taboo for me. But I used to tear it up. Snake tastes just like chicken. But the chicken has a reptilian foot anyway, so there's a relationship.
I saw this guy. Bob. I know you be knowing stuff you don't be saying. I saw this this old African dude speaking about how the chicken was an ancient grafted animal that they grafted. It's like a form of a buzzard with some type of reptile or something, and then another type of bird, and that's why it tastes like so many different things, and that's why it eats so many different things. That's why it's not scared of you. I thought it was very, very interesting because we don't know these days, but I just thought it was really interesting, and it is weird how chickens don't have certain characteristics unlike any other bird. So I just thought that was really interesting. Frog legs taste like a little more chewy and chewy.
I had
rabbit is good. It tastes like chicken. Rabbit is good and tastes like chicken. I haven't had rabbit in a long time though.
Since I was a kid. What you about to say, Monica?
I did have some news I wanted to share, but I don't think we have time. So if anyone is interested, then Google Mansfield man arrested on porch, and just watch the video and see some of the information surrounding it. Maybe we'll.
I'm sorry. Real quick, now I gotta say this. It was a woman that got called darky on her receipt. I think this is I gotta get this out.
Her name was Darlene, but she was called Darky on her receipt.
Yes, her name was Darlene. She was called Darky.
Woody's cheesesteaks.
Woody's cheesesteaks. I'm putting that in the chat right now. Woody's cheesesteaks. It's like 4 or 5 here in Atlanta. So if you're here in Atlanta, or if you're not here in Atlanta, and it's the one on I want to get the address so you can know which one it is. But yeah, I just I'm getting tired of stuff like this, because this is the thing. This is how I really feel. I think it's okay to refuse service. If you own a business, you can refuse service. You don't want me in there. You say, hey, I don't want your black ass in my. I'm okay with that.
They want the money.
Say what?
They want the money though.
Right. See, I don't have a problem with you saying we don't want to serve niggers. I didn't want to say the whole word correctly because we might get flagged for that. But we don't want to serve niggers. That's fine. If you say that to my face, I can walk out. And I don't have an issue with that. I'm not going to get mad at you. Thank you, my brother. Put the hands up. Because 9 times out of 10, if you don't want to serve me, how are you going to prepare my food? Because that's what I'm concerned about. And not even that. Everything has energy. You put ashe into things that you make. And ashe has got it by intent. And that's why your mama can make you a bowl of chitlins and it don't give you a heart attack as fast as when you go get chitlins from Sal's Chitlin House. It's different because one is made with all the love that you ever going to get in this world. And the other one is made to make $18.35. And it's a big difference in the intent in those two different things. So I'm okay, man. Refuse me, refuse me all day long. I'm okay if you want to segregate, and all that stuff is fine with me. Wear your rebel flags. I'm okay with all that. I want to recognize you. I want to see you. I'm good with all that. What you don't do is take my service and then try to clown me. Because now we at war.
And then won't give her money back.
Right. She said, okay, I'll tell you what, then, since you wouldn't apologize. Okay, well, if you ain't going to apologize, let me get my money back. No, I don't. The dude said he don't do that. Boy.
First of all, he wasn't the owner, so him saying he don't do that, that's bullshit.
Let me tell you what I do. This first, let me show you what I do. You don't want to give my money, man. I really, it eats me when these people treat our women like this. And I just can't say that strong enough. I can't put enough curses in it, so I ain't gonna even use any curse words. But when you play with our women like this, man, it's maybe, I take it as an ego thing, because you play with our women, I feel like you're saying something directly to the men by playing with our women. You know what I'm saying? I don't. It's so disrespectful. I seen a video of this dude getting beat up. The police beating up this dude or whatever, and Pete Rock he commented, they do this because they scared of the black man. I was like, man, do you see them doing that to beating up Jews, arresting Jews and beating them up on camera when they know they being filmed? That's because they scared of them. They not doing that because they fear us. They may fear what we could be or what we should be, but they don't fear what we are right now. That's the biggest crock of shit that I hate hearing Negroes say. They scared of us, man. That's your foolishness talking. We just can't allow this kind of stuff, man. We can't allow it. We cannot allow it. It's in Atlanta, so I'm gonna do my part to make sure these people don't get business. To make sure, I wish I knew the guy's name who actually refused the service, because I'll be trying to see him. You know what I'm saying? I'll be trying to see him. I do know the address of these folks, so I just want to put in, it's 45 IRBY, Atlanta, Georgia. Let me say 45
Irby, yeah.
Irby Ave. 45 Irby Ave. I'll put that in there. 45. Just in case you want to call, you want to ask about it. I'm sure you was fired and they're gonna tell you all that. Irby Ave, Northwest Atlanta. I just want to put that in there, man, because we can't allow this anywhere. A guy sent me an email about this doctor getting threatened, and I thought it was here in Atlanta, but it's in Kansas. I can't help you in Kansas. I hope there's people in Kansas that can help. But we gotta rally, and wherever we at, we gotta rally behind people that's getting targeted, man. We can't allow this. And that's all I want to say about that, because I don't play with that, man. I don't play with when we play with our women. It's the most disrespectful thing I think you can do to us is play with our women and our children, of course.
I Manifesto says ATL seems like it has a decent food scene. Nope.
The thing
Don't let nobody from Chicago tell you that, man. No. It's okay, man. It's pretty good. It's
the places that you haven't heard of that are good. It's not all those ones that are posting all the time. It's right. It's places you gotta find when you get here.
It's not the Papados. It's not. That's cool, but it's when you get the little jar of seafood.
It's not ATL hot wings.
It's definitely not ATL. It's Wings in the Prayer tucked in the corner. That's the actual name. It's Wings in the Prayer. They on the corner somewhere on Upper Riverdale and Highway 38 that you ain't never heard of. That's the actual name, Wings in the Prayer. When I was eating wings, it had to be 20 years ago. I took a 40-piece wings to North Carolina for my mama. I bullshit you not. It's places like that. They got it, but not the places you hear about. All right, I know too many natural herbs and spices to put on food to enjoy bland ass cooking. I heard that. All right, y'all. So that's my news, and I'm sticking to it. Protect black women at all time, black woman and child. But to do that, you're gonna have to train.
Right.
You have to make sure you're balanced.
Hey, protect, and if you see some people
protect elderly black men too.
Protect elders. Protect the elders. Period. Thank you, sir.
Right. But don't. If you're a black man, and I'm an elder, but if you're a black man in my shape, you could protect yourself. And that's real. If you're in my shape, my condition, or better, you can protect yourself.
Right. You should be able to.
He can. I don't say he could protect himself, right? But if he's able to, is a different story. That's different.
Oh, damn. I manifested.
Sorry, I manifested. That is the worst.
Burn my damn food watching the show. Oh, sorry about that, man.
We appreciate your intensive viewing that you.
You come to Atlanta, we'll hook you up with some wing and a prayer.
Yeah, not
on the house.
Not no ATL hot wing.
Norman Henderson said that's why I like New York. I can eat straight up African and Caribbean dishes.
That is true. New York has pretty good food. New York has pretty good food.
See how Baba do pretty good food. Yeah,
I mean, it's true. Did y'all see the video of a white guy having a young black man in a headlock because he wanted him to prove that he lived in the building? Ooh, boy.
Let me just say this. Bob, did you see this?
No.
Let me just say this. First of all, now y'all gonna get I gotta say it. There's some black young men that you see that I see, and I immediately look at him and say, he got a white girlfriend. And I have to say this because there's a certain amount of tolerance, not even tolerance, it's something else. To allow a white man to talk to you a certain type of way is already a problem for me. Like before it went there, this white man ain't the kind of white man to put his hands on you. I'm looking at this brother. I'm looking at the white man. This white man must have been 50 pounds lighter than this young brother. He didn't look like he had an ounce of real fight in his life in him. Mm-mm. And you let him put you in a damn headlock. It's like he stopped, sir, mother boy.
He immediately got out of the headlock too, or pretty quickly got out of it. So it was a sorry headlock.
It's like he let him get him in the headlock. First of all, sir, what are you doing? What are you doing to put a headlock? And then just got out of it. Stop it, man. Protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Well, I can't understand that whole situation. Don't go to your apartment. You don't know this man might be a killer. Right. Saying you don't live here. Where's your apartment at? Where your room? Like, why would you go to? I ain't got to show you shit.
And he actually opened up his front door and showed him. Yeah, he opened his door. You gave him
authority that he don't have. I learned a long time ago. I don't take no from in business, customer service or whatever. I don't take no from somebody who don't have the power to tell me yes.
Can you do that? No. Can you do that for black women? Do what?
Here we go again.
Do what, Brittany?
Say you are. Oh my goodness.
Do that for black women. You mean?
I don't know. We wait for
like that's ridiculous. If a black if you're talking about if a black woman allows first takes a white man, a black man, Chinese man, or whatever to her house, to her apartment she doesn't know, that's an absolute wrong move. That's absolute. To let a man put his hands on you is wrong. Can you tell we green black women has a white man? Oh, can you tell when a black woman has a white man?
Oh, okay. I got you. She's mad because she messed that up.
I got you.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It used to be probably almost every time, but now
now you can't. But I can. You can almost because it's a haughtiness to them. It's a, I have a white man. I don't care. I don't care that you have a white man. As long as my daughters ain't got no white man. Now, one of my daughters has a child by an Arab, an old Arab man who my mother said he looked like Santa Claus. But he died, you know. So, but
I was about to say that sounds strategic.
I love my granddaughter, but Nick had fooled my daughter. Really, it really is her fault, because a lot of black women were hawking for him because they thought he was rich Arab, you know, because I think he owned a store and a construction company, but all those were failing. And she got with him one time. He didn't even have an erection, stuffed his penis in her, and came like that with a soft penis, and she got pregnant.
Wow.
So,
boy,
you know, deal with who you're gonna deal with. But you may have to pay a consequence, you know, for it. Now, my granddaughter, Ade Tutu, you've met her, Belay. She's a wonderful person, but she
got that amber fire in her.
She sure does, definitely.
Yeah. So as far as the women, man, it is interesting because it is a stereotype that you actually see and you know, okay, yeah, she got a white man, or she's susceptible to being with white men. But then there is lately this surprise type of thing that you see, and I'm like, damn, I would have never thought.
Brothers, you can always tell. It's two types of brothers. It's the brother who got the hair almost look like a white man's hair. Is that type of brother? Then you got the brother with the gold tooth in his mouth.
Yep, with the black and miles.
Right. You got two types of brothers down here.
It ain't really no in between.
That's funny.
It's the guy that kind of talks like this. You see him and he's talking and
hey, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy.
That's not
you got the other man shouted, and got that gold tooth.
Right, exactly. And that's not saying this is a proper, because I talk proper. You know what I'm saying? I talk proper, but I didn't take the base out of my like, hey man, where'd your balls go? Why'd you lose your balls? Because you're with this woman. I don't understand that. Like, it's that type of that's beyond proper. I don't know what the hell that is, but yeah, that type of you could figure him out.
I might mess with the Kalani. Kalani is actually black and Filipino or something like that.
I see her name, but I couldn't place her face right now. If you put it on the screen, I wouldn't know.
There's a song that this brother, a Yoruba brother, made about Kalani. He made a song. It's you know, it's a nice little tune that you can tell it's a young dude.
You know,
I've actually
now she's mixed. When I grew up, mixed folks, if they would have black, they would call black because that's how they were treated.
Right. It's different now. They got categories.
It's different now. Now they biracial.
And you can claim you can
racial.
You want. That's the thing. It's some people who are mixed who are like, I'm black, you know. And then some people
I knew people who were. So I have cousins who are mixed. My cousin, I won't say her name. Well, two of them look straight up like a white woman, but you can't tell. I was walking down the street with one of my cousins, and a little boy named Spanky from our neighborhood. He was a bad boy. He was like, "Man, who that white woman you walking with, Adam?" I said, "Boy, that's my cousin." She's like, "Mother, call me white." She just went off, right? And I told my mother, and she was like, "Well, she didn't have to go off on a little boy like that." And then she, you know, she thought about it, and she said, "Well, she's probably dealt with that all her life." being called a white woman. She can't stand it.
So
My other cousin who lives in Baltimore, well, you better not call her white. Her son's a minister in the Nation of Islam, and you call her white, she gonna go off.
yeah, so our manifesto said that's the new tune on the radio. Baba knows this. Yeah, Baba is Baba be putting me on the songs that I ain't never heard. So he
Well, you know, I got a bunch of young children, so
you know, I want to do a study one day of somebody to show a study about on social media. You know how you go in when I go to search, I can go to search warrior class. It's going to be a bunch of women shaking ass and showing their titties. It's always going to be. I'm talking about not when I'm searching, but when I go to the search part on IG, it's always going to show a bunch of women when I go to on Instagram. So one thing I've seen to notice, or when they show up just, you know, random on your feed, you know, people you don't follow just pop up. They have reels going up sideways. What I've noticed is, and maybe I don't know if they're the most popular, but it seems like maybe I shouldn't say this. This might be too controversial. I don't know, but it seems like that mixed women are more outwardly sexual. The attractive ones. Is that that was too much?
I haven't experienced that one. I haven't experienced that one.
I might have went too far. But I'm say what?
You talking about social media? I'm sorry.
On social media, the reels that the ones, even on Facebook, on all of them, the ones I see, I'm strolling, and then all of a sudden I catch somebody, all this right here. They look like a they look like a Nutrinoid. I don't know what they is. I don't know what they is, or they mixed or something, but I very rarely see.
Brittany said that's your algorithm.
That might be my algorithm.
All right, get out of there. Get out of there, B-Lay. Emmanuel say, get out of there, B-Lay. Right.
It might be. But what I like, unless we're talking foreign women, I rarely see dark-skinned women behaving in the same manner. I rarely see posts. I rarely see them in the feed. Maybe they don't get as much attention, so they're not in my algorithms. I don't know. But I never see.
That's what it is. I get dark skinned women in my feed.
The dark skinned women I see are usually 100% not American.
No,
almost each time. I would like to see a graph or a study on women that's. I'm talking about the ones that's really sexual and doing all these.
I can show you. It's this sister. She got a silver tooth. She a big afro, dark skin, fine, but she nasty. She nasty.
I've seen one too.
I've seen her in a movie, not porn. I've seen her in a movie. So I guess she's trying to work that career or whatever. But
okay.
But you know, them women, whatever complexion they are, sex workers. One is sex work is work, but it ain't no work I want my daughters to do. I'll tell you that.
I'm glad.
So we can say, you know, because people sloganize stuff. So sex work is work. Yeah, it is. It is work.
Sure.
And they should be respected as a worker. However, that's not any work I want my daughters, my sister, my mama to do.
Yeah.
Be realistic about that shit, and y'all probably don't either.
And I know we joke, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't search for sex or ass shaking and shit like that. In fact,
a little bit.
Yeah, I look at what's in the search menu, but I don't click on it.
You click on it.
I don't click on it. I observe what's passing by, but I don't click. If I click on it, I'm gonna tell you, and you can go look. If I click on it, you see Raquel E. It's gonna say, "You ain't got no daddy, huh? You ain't got no father, do you?" That's what I say in the comment section. I shame that shit, man. I got a 19-year-old. I don't like.
Now I have a student. Every big booty chick that come through,
I know who you talking about.
Right.
I know who you talking about.
He like that job. I'm like, how in the hell? This
Every one of them.
You know, big booty woman with no legs. He gonna like it.
Oh boy. Wow.
Yeah, you're right, Brittany, and I think that's what it is. Because I do every now and then, I will click on it and be like, "Hey, is your daddy home? I really want to know that you grew up with your father." And she's like, "Nick, I never got the response out of 4 years of doing that. No person has ever responded back when I'd be like, did you grow up with your dad? Or your dad missing, ain't he? You got daddy issues, don't you?" Never had a response, but by doing that, they send me more of that. So you're probably right.
One thing, so you all can know that.
Good point, Jamal.
Special forces, FBI, probably others know this. When a person has a man has multiple tattoos on his arms, chest, things like that, he has father issues.
You think that's something in America?
That's true. That's in America. That's how we learned it in America. That's how America is. But when he has tattoos, sleeves, and chest and all that, he has father issues.
And I think women when they get face tattoos have father issues. I think.
Shit, I think anybody with face tattoos got issues. Just issues, period.
Yes, Norman, we're gonna get off this subject because I understand.
Yeah, I used to joke that I wanted to. Well, I still rock a ball head sometimes, but I used to joke that I wanted to get some Arab surah engraved on my head, tattooed on my head. And my mother, my sister, my ex-wife, they were like, "You okay? Why do you want to?" I said, "I want my whole head." I said, "That'll be raw." Mug see me, and I have my whole head just tattooed. They'd be in fear, shaking. Nobody be shaking. They be like, "That motherfucker crazy as hell." That's what it happened. Thick women are so big booty, yes, sir. Well, yeah, I can agree.
I thought that was you. Okay, I thought you were saying yes, sir. He actually said yes, sir.
No, he said big booty, yes, sir.
Just multiplies into more booty talk.
Thick women are essential.
That's what's happening on Belay's algorithm.
What about women with nose rings? I'm with it, man.
Speaking of booty talk, I love that DVD series. No, I'm just kidding. We can go to something.
Big booty black chicks. I'm with the nose rings. I want
to go back to something that my sister Brittany said. She said that it seems like a terrible curse, the ability to pass. I would say it's I don't want to do any spoilers, but okay, we can use that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you already fucking up.
Right. We can use that. I'll just say it like you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
We can use that because they're just like the men with no bass in their voice that Belay's talking about. They use that. They use the fact that they got those people's minds. We can use the passers, but we got to make sure that they really down with us. So
yeah, the passers got
that was done in the Spook Who Sat by the Door. It was a passing black who he sent to do certain things. So
the Wilmington 10, which is a famous group that Ben Shavitz was a part of, they got that's what they did. My aunts, I think you met one.
My grandfather and his brothers. That's what they did.
Yeah, my aunts. I got two aunts. One has blue eyes. One got green eyes, and they used to really look white when they were younger. And they would go in restaurants, all whites only, order a bunch of food. When the food came, all the Negroes came in. and they would get arrested all the time for that. But that's what they did. So yeah, you can definitely.
Well, my grandpa and his brother were different. They were killing white folk, going into their areas like white folks, and they were smoking.
They was not killing white folks, my aunts and them. If they was, I couldn't tell you because they still alive. So
they were stone cold killers. Every last one of them. My mother said every last one of her father's uncles, well, her father's brothers, and her father, they were stone killers.
Mississippi,
yeah. That's why I said, so the west side of Chicago, most of the people come from Mississippi. They have roots in Mississippi
too.
I don't know. I got friends on the south side, but I don't know nothing about that. But west side certainly, and that's why that level of violence in Chicago is there. Well, you got stone cold killers there too. All right, so were they killing KKK types? They were killing KKK, Knife KK, and OK. They were killing all of them. All right, that's so not just killing them just to kill them, but they were killing them because they needed things. Like my mother told me once, my father stole this white man's cow to feed the neighborhood, right? So the guy said, "Man, my cow, its tracks led down here right behind your house." He said, "No, Mr. Whatever. No, it didn't come here." He said, "Yeah, I think it did." My grandfather was called Doug because he dug a lot of graves of white folks. His name was Aaron, so he said, "Well, come on back here, and let's see if the cow's back here." And that white man said, "No, Mr. Doug, I ain't going back there. I ain't going back there with you." He said, "You fine, you come on." He said, No. So that's how my family ran it. Anyway, in martial arts and self-defense, balance is not a minor detail, but a fundamental element of success. It enhances your technique, fluidity, and defensive capabilities, while also strengthening your core muscles. Furthermore, it's a reflection of your mental focus and plays a significant role in injury prevention. By prioritizing balance in your training, you become a more skilled, composed, and safer warrior.
Balance is a fundamental component of any movement we perform. Being able to maintain balance is crucial to performing everyday activities such as going up or down stairs or reaching for a high shelf. While people will make an effort to fit in a walk or strength exercises through the week, balance-specific exercises are often forgotten about despite how important they are. Balance can be improved at any age or at any starting level. The key is repetition and practice. Maintaining balance is crucial, especially as we start to get older. Having good balance helps in preventing falls, injuries, and simply making your daily activities easier to perform.
You're muted. You're muted.
I was muted?
No,
Sorry.
she was muted.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There are multiple sensory inputs in the body that are important for balance. Vision, proprioception, your body's sense of awareness in space, the vestibular system, the functioning of our inner ear, which helps with spatial orientation. Maintaining balance is a complex task that requires coordination from your muscles, tendons, bones, eyes, ears, and brain. If even one of these systems becomes weakened, others may overcompensate and our balance is affected.
Now, I want to say real quick, I had a cerebellar strokes, 7 of them, or 8 of them actually. And it affected my balance. My proprioception was off. My sense of awareness in space was off for a while. and that, but I was still teaching. So I was teaching martial arts 4 days after the strokes. I left the hospital. 4 days later, I was teaching. But I could not tell where I was at in space. Like my student Akin Bola would drive me home, and I couldn't. My feet would be on the floor of his car, but I couldn't tell they were on the floor of his car. That's how, out of balance I was during that time. So
Yeah, bro.
it can affect you.
There are many factors that lead to loss of balance, such as inner ear problems, foot pain, history of lower limb injury, such as an ankle sprain, vision problems, stroke, loss of depth perception, and side effects of medications.
Preventing falls is important as we get older. When you have good balance, you have a better ability to quickly adapt to changes in body position and react to unexpected variations. For example, stepping on a rock or pebble that you didn't see while out for a walk and being able to center yourself without falling. Avoiding falls means avoiding physical injuries such as a hip fracture, which can be detrimental to your physical and mental well-being. When you have good balance, it is a great confidence boost as you don't have to worry about falling every time you leave the house or come down the stairs.
I would answer your question. Out of the three that you said, I manifesto, what's the best for balance? Qigong, Tai Chi, or yoga? I would say yoga out of the three. I wouldn't say that they are the best exercises or things to do for balance. So there's really simple things you can do.
I would say Tai Chi. So I disagree on that, but they're both good with balance, but yeah, they're not the best for balance.
Yeah, none of them I would say are the best, and I could see why you would say Tai Chi too, because the only reason I didn't say Tai Chi because of the different forms of Tai Chi and that I don't know of. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I couldn't actually speak on that probably. I could speak on the Qigong. Qigong is about energy flow more so than balance. But anyway, posture and balance go hand in hand. Many people led a sedentary lifestyle and spend way too many hours hunched over in front of a phone, TV screen, or computer monitor. This contributes to poor posture, and the body develops limitations such as reduced upper back mobility, hunched shoulders, and an anterior pelvic tilt. Doing balance exercises help improve your posture and counteracts the adverse effects of a sedentary lifestyle. Sitting on your ass all the time is kind of lifestyle, I would say.
Right.
Balance exercises teach you the static and dynamic positions that are natural to the human body.
You're muted. You're muted.
Okay. Many athletes who suffer sports-related injuries, such as an ankle sprain or knee injury, find that their balance is reduced after injury. Their ability to stand on one leg, hop, jump, or do quick changes of direction is limited and requires proper rehabilitation so the body can cope with the demands of their sport and everyday activities. Training balance and proprioception specifically after injury can not only help you recover faster from injury, but also help in preventing further injury and chronic instability.
Now, I'll say, and you've probably seen it, Belay, my balance has been affected when my foot was burned.
Yeah.
I had an injured foot for a long time, and now my balance, I got to regain it. And that's what gave me the mind to speak on balance today, because I'm gaining my balance back.
And injuries is one of the number one things that can claim your balance, because you, especially to your foot or your leg, because you start even recovering, because you start tending to one side more than the other one and everything. So that shift of energy can mess you up.
What a lovely hat, Baba.
Oh, thank you so much. There are different types of balance exercises. These include static and dynamic balancing. Static balance refers to your balance when you are standing still. Examples include standing on one leg with your eyes closed, standing on one unstable surface such as a foam block or pillow. So we're going to show you those exercises now.
So
please, standing on one leg.
So I remember in Connecticut, I would go to those free karate and taekwondo classes. They'd be free for 2 weeks. So I go one for 2 weeks, then another 2 weeks. And this dude was so strict. When he walked in the room, everybody had to raise their leg up like this while he's talking. And while he's talking and moving, you had to turn with where he's going at. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of
so standing on one leg.
All right.
You just did that, really.
Yep.
But so you want to do that if you don't have to raise your knee that high. If you're falling off balance, you can raise it just a little bit off the ground. Right. You can do it like that. Then as you get more experience, you can raise it higher and higher and higher. And then try both legs, as a matter of fact. Okay. The other one is standing on one leg with your eyes closed.
Okay, so you won't be able to see if my eyes are closed, but I won't cheat y'all, and we'll see if I still have the same balance. I'm using the same leg first with my eyes closed. Woo! Boy, oh yeah. Woo! Let me try that one more time. Third time the charm. Woo! That's a hard one.
Yeah, it's a hard one. So that is one that is good for developing your proprioception, as a matter of fact.
Oh my goodness, my proprioception is all fucked up. Okay. All right. A little bit better.
All right, and then the other one is standing on an unstable surface, such as a foam block or pillow.
Now, I don't have a foam block or pillow that I can stand on. Let me see. I don't want to use this ball. I might bust my tail in front of y'all. Okay, I won't try it.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's way too hard.
Willing to do that, Belay.
Trying to stand on the basketball is not a good idea. This is way too hard. You need something soft. This is not soft.
Are you using the crate for something else?
But it has to be unstable. It has to be an unstable surface.
Yeah,
it can be a unstable surface like that, I guess, if you want to, but you want something like a foam.
No, you need actually the balance on the ball. You need a softer ball that you can stand on, like a yoga ball. I could actually do that, but stand on the basketball. That's not. I knew I wasn't able to do that, y'all. I just didn't know I was going to slip and fall.
Oh God!
Hey, I ain't scared to bust my tail in front of y'all.
Hey,
because I know how to land properly.
Busting your tail is all right.
The crate is for another exercise that's coming up. I could stand on the edges of the crate. That is true, but I would use something soft. Actually, like a yoga, like he said, you want to use like a pillow or a yoga ball that's soft, because you're not going to always do it perfect, and you can slip. And if you're slipping when you use something hard edges like that crate, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel that. Yes, walking on tree limbs. I got a tree job coming up. I used to walk on tree limbs all the time. That helps a lot.
I used to walk on sunshine.
Oh, is it my turn? Oh my goodness. Okay. Dynamic balance refers to your balance when you're moving. Exercises aim to improve your ability to move the body through space with greater control, speed, and better reaction time. Okay. Now, one thing they figured out too that you can do is, well, I'll get into that later. I'll show these first. Which one of these?
Marching on the spot with high knees.
Okay, so that's going to be, I'll go waist level with that. So that's pick your spot and stay in that same spot, because that's what makes the exercise work. You stand in the exact same spot.
Right. That's, you want to march in place.
Do that by eyes closed.
Now you want to do step ups.
That's what the crate is for.
Yes.
And go slow with the step up. You can use stairs, switch legs, going up and down. I try to keep a bend instead of standing straight up. That's just me being able to be almost a fight stance.
And the other one is sidestepping.
We're going to side steps, modified line step. So it's just good. This is actually good for hip mobility too. You should try to do at least 30 of these a day.
Now, if you notice, one leg is bent, the other one is straight.
This is good for mobility right here. Good for hip mobility, which is really important as you get older to get the hips mobile.
Right.
All right.
All right. Niggas on you.
If you have suffered a sports injury and find that you don't feel as stable as you used to, or if you are starting to notice your balance is deteriorating as you get older, it's time to start focusing on your balance now. Balance can be improved at any age or ability. To maintain balance, you need a strong core. Your core muscles, including the abdominals and lower back, play a critical role in stabilizing your body. As you develop your balance, you'll naturally strengthen these muscles. A strong core can not only improve your balance, but also helps to protect your body from injury.
You'll notice on some of the shows, I'll start leaning, and then Ominiki will push me over, back up straight, because really, it's just the core that you got to work. You got to work your core. All right. That's my daughter's upstairs having a fit. All right. Balance also gives you a distinct defensive advantage. When you have good balance, it's more challenging for your opponent to throw you off balance, take you down, or land strikes effectively. You'll be better equipped to absorb blows and maintain your composure during a fight. This is true standing or on the ground.
That is also correct. I had a tree job today, but I canceled it because of the rain. I was going to talk about balance. I was going to actually be in the tree and balance without, because there's no limbs. It's just a hardwood going straight up. So I was going to have the core strength he's talking about is a rope tied to my body. That's the only thing I got besides the spikes in my shoes that had me. So I'd be back like this, holding on to the tree with my spikes in it. And while I'm climbing, I got to go up and keep that tightness. I got to keep it tight the whole time. It takes a lot of core strength and a lot of balance and a lot of strength in your ankles too to be able to do that. I hadn't done it in a long time, but I'm kind of, like I said, I got that permanent core strength now from doing it now. But after doing it for so long, you kind of just, it's like falling back on the bike. I wanted to show you guys that, but maybe next time, or maybe I'll record myself when I do it tomorrow or whenever. So as far as grappling is concerned, you can define balance by saying that the person's center of gravity is exactly above the middle of their base. The base is the area beneath a person that includes every point of contact the person makes with the supporting surface. This means is when you are standing, your base of support is the area between your 2 feet. The wider your feet are positioned, the easier it is to balance. From a bottom mount, your base is the back of your feet. I'm sorry. From the bottom mount, your base is your back and your feet. From the top mount, the base is your 2 knees, feet, and your head. And I'm gonna show that. But also, what he was saying about the wider your feet, the better your balance. You know that for certain. So a little exercise real quick. This shows you a lot of people can do this, right? That's not that hard. Some people, your knees kind of bad. It's not that easy. But more people can do this than can do this. That's not easy for a lot of people to do. A squat with your feet together. That takes a lot more balance than that right there. So that's something you can work on as well. So
he's in a bottom mount. So you see his back and his feet are touching the ground. Those are that's his balance
now,
support.
If my feet are like this, my balance is not going to be that good. I can get it on my side very easily versus I'm like this. It's not going to be easy to roll me to my side. If I was like this, you just roll me up. So that's another thing about me.
When women first come to class, a lot of times they want to have their knees together on the ground. Right. And that's a mistake. It's a mistake for many reasons. One, it damages your spine, but also your balance is off.
And the past that, somebody can just hit your legs like this and not even climb over.
Right.
Yeah. So now I'm going to get on.
Now top, yeah. So in top mount, it's his hands, it's his knees, and it's his feet.
Yes, sir. And again, my balance is not the same if I'm like this. I can easily get. So that's why even when you're thrown or you end up on your back, you get your base, you get wide for a second. That's why wrestlers when you see the wrestlers that wrestle and you got a person on the bottom, you got a person on top, they get a wide stance, almost like the bulldog stance. You get a bend, you're not straight. You're like this, unless you're turtling, which is a whole different story. So another one, I can't see the screen. That was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gravity applies to every part of the body. If you combine the effect of all the forces of gravity, you can sum it up as a force applied to a single point, the center of gravity. This center of gravity is the center of balance of the body. If you place your center of gravity exactly in the middle of your base, it will be perfectly balanced. This is obviously very important because if you want to lift and control your opponent's body to throw them, their center of gravity is the area you need to control if you want to control their balance. The center of gravity depends on the position of the body. Normally, the center of gravity of your body is more or less at the level of your navel. When your center of gravity is at the center of your base, you are perfectly in balance. This is when you are strongest in all directions. The further away your center of balance moves from the center of your base, the weaker you become.
So if you want to throw a person, if I want to do a hip throw, I pull them forward first, so they're going over their center. You understand? Then I do the throw. Not throw when they're perfectly in balance, standing and their center is right at the base of their feet. No. You pull them to the side, you pull them forward, push them backwards before you do your throws.
And that's how you teach us this. We seek to off balance you first before we do any throws or even a kick or anything like low kick. If we was to do a low kick or low knee, you want to off balance a person before you do a wrist lock, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely unbalanced.
All right. everyone's balance is different, and we all have varying margins for how much we can move our body and still maintain balance. This is called our limits of stability, or how far outside of our base of support we can move and still maintain balance. And it ain't that far. How do we improve one's limits of stability? By challenging it. In order to be more stable throughout daily life, it is important to perform balance exercises that are challenging but doable. Balance exercises should be performed both statically and dynamically. Static balance involves holding your balance in a stationary position, like when he was on one leg, right? An example of how to challenge your base of support and limits of stability in static balance is standing with one foot in front of the other. Try that too, standing with one foot in front of the other, heel to toe, while reaching with your arms forwards and backwards and to the side, side to side, as far as you can while maintaining balance. Dynamic balance involves maintaining balance while moving. An example of how to challenge your base of support dynamically is walking heel to toe, forwards. As we mentioned above, the more narrow your stance is, the more challenging a balance exercise will be. When starting with balance exercises, it is best to begin with a wider stance and progress slowly to a more narrow stance and eventually to standing on one leg when able. So we're going to show the just standing heel to toe.
Nick, you want to do this, or you want me to? I want to finish it out.
I'll do it.
So you're just standing heel to toe.
Should I do it from the side?
Yeah, from the side. So you want to stand like that. Now you want to move your hands, throw them in the front of you. Put your hands in the front of you.
Woo.
Put them in the back of you as far as they can go. And then to the side. And the sides of you. So you want to do that, and then switch feet. Do the other side too. The other foot.
The other foot feels like it would be easier.
It probably is. Is one side of you is always more imbalanced. Yeah.
Sorry, y'all can't see my arms.
Now
the-
walk heel to toe. Walk heel to toe. And that is how you practice balance dynamically.
And if you look at our social media post about this particular show, there's a guy at the beginning that actually demonstrates basically all of these that we just did. I think that's really cool because I didn't realize we had these exercises, but I found a guy that's basically doing most of these.
So those are the exercises you can do to work your balance. You got to challenge it. It's not going to just come. You got to challenge your balance. I'm dominant right-footed, so the right foot in the back was easier to balance. Yeah, work both of them and work the side that is out of balance more.
Yes. Work the hard stuff first anyway, and the most anyway, in life or whatever. It's the hardest, you got the easy, you got the hard. Go ahead and attack the hard thing and get it out the way.
Right.
I didn't mean to put a life lesson in there. I'm just.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of it applies in different areas of life.
Right.
Balance lesson in general.
Right. If you feel unstable throughout the day and during certain activities, you can use your base to your advantage by widening your stance. When the center line of gravity running through your body lands between your base, you will feel much more stable.
So if you're standing, like Billy had said, when he did the squats, if you're standing up, if you're just one foot to the side of the other foot and they're too narrow, you're out of balance. Somebody could easily push you over.
Yes.
You
I
follow
wanted, I wanted to show real quick too. Now I don't do like one-legged squats and stuff like that. But what I'll do sometimes, what you can do for balance is one leg is try this right here. So you got one leg over here. It's not very easy, but come down and up, down and up. I'm not touching the surface, but that's really good to get in your ankles and you let they call you hip flexors and all of that. That's really good for that. So try that for each leg to get you stabilized, because as we get older, we don't use these the same way, you know? So movement, like Bob was saying, coming down, you can even do that sideways. Or that's gonna be good for cardio one, but no, it's really good for your ankles and your knees to strengthen those tendons and all those ligaments.
You're just showing off.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
On another note, can I just say y'all t-shirt game is on point? Thank you.
But you know what? Actually, I have something about that. We should definitely have these type t-shirts. You know, I think looking in the mirror and seeing that is actually sending a message to yourself a lot of times, as well as other people who you see. But sometimes you should have things where you can be incognito. So, you know, have some other t-shirts sometime when you going somewhere where you want to kind of not be noticed. I noticed one time, I think it was the beginning of COVID, I was going to certain places where I didn't want people to pay attention to me. And I realized I didn't have any like t-shirts that didn't have something African on them or something like that. And at that time, then I started making sure I had some, you know, get you some band t-shirts from somewhere. Get you, you know, even if you don't listen to the bands, they do that now anyway. But get you something where someone could glance at you and just think that you're harmless. You know, think about that.
Telling Baba, it's crazy you said that. I was just telling Baba because I buy certain t-shirts, especially from a certain, we know the same person that sells, you know,
right,
t-shirts that have a bunch of stuff on it. And I'm walking around, I'm wondering why white people squinting at me, and I'm not even paying. Then I look down and I got, you know what I'm saying, Black Power, black is, you know what I'm saying, black is something, this is that, and they pump your fist, and like, oh shit, I just threw the shirt on, not thinking. So that's a great point. You don't always want to stick out, you know, and everything you have.
Never wear your martial arts shirt if you're in a martial art outside. Don't do it. I was on the train one time, and now I didn't have on a shirt. I had long learned how to do that. I was reading a martial art magazine, and this dude, he was about 6'9", big dude, sat down. He said, "Man, you do martial arts. You do martial arts." First of all, he's being overly aggressive. I said, "Oh, no, I'm just interested. You know, I'm just reading." He said, "Oh, man, you know, what would you do if I just spit in your face?" I said, "If you spit in my face, I'm going to whoop your ass." Now, he wondering how this little dude saying he going to whoop my ass, right? He said, "I just reach in my pants, I grab some shit and throw it on you. What would you do?" I said, "Kill you. I kill you. Reach in your pants and pull some shit out and throw it on me, man." He said, "Man, you ain't gonna kill nobody. You ain't gonna kill nobody." And when I looked at him, he said, "Oh, this motherfucker killed me." Started, you know.
Intent.
But that let me know I don't, when I'm out, I ain't wearing no t-shirts. I ain't reading no martial art magazines. I'm not reading my books or nobody else's books on survival or martial arts and nothing like that.
I disagree. I take books wherever I go and read them in every scenario.
You don't want to make yourself a target, because boy, there's some crazy motherfuckers in this world.
Like we said. I'm sorry.
Okay, y'all, don't laugh at me, but I bought a ghillie suit from Temu. I've been practicing being stealthy. Hey, from Temu, I would that you roll the dice, that's taking a risk, but it's good to have a ghillie suit.
I don't know what a ghillie
I didn't
suit
even
is.
know what that was. I just had
A ghillie suit. Y'all heard me talk about a ghillie suit. Ghillie suit is you put it on. It has the plants and all of that on it.
Oh yeah.
So you can lay down like a professional sniper's ghillie suit. You can lay down and you think you're Bush.
No doubt. Yeah, I know what you're talking. Like she said, the most loudest are the most insecure. We always say everything you do is political. Everything you wear is political. So you always need to be conscious of what you're saying. And sometimes, like Nikki said, you don't want to say anything about what your intent is.
She was talking about the big dude who was saying, you know, what about reaching my pants? Not great. She's talking about him.
Oh, right. But yeah, I was just thinking exactly.
And he probably was insecure, as big as he was.
Oh yeah. Because what is the point of jumping on the train, sitting next to somebody saying all of that? Like, what do you have going on? You know.
And we always say most security is big.
He thought I was a sucker, I guess. You know, little sucker. And those days I was 129 pounds. So I was thin. That didn't make no difference. I was going
a lot of people awareness is so low, they don't realize you one of them until they in it, and like, oh shit. When you start talking back to them, they be like, oh, he ain't the one for this. I ain't even pay attention. I ain't realized I walked up on the wrong one today.
Right.
That happens.
I knew a young guy who wore his Chinese kung fu outfit got confronted by a guy at train station. He had to take him down. Yeah,
I told you about Keenan Wayne's where
now he's lucky that the dude could take somebody down, because a lot of dudes who wear Chinese kung fu suit can't do shit.
Right.
So
that's right. Get you some Marvel t-shirts, something with a cartoon on, you know what I'm saying? Something that somebody look at you, they not thinking about, they moving on to the next person. That's important.
Right.
We talk about that when
Magneto tees. I'm brandless more and more. I might wear band merch tees or something like that. My Black Power tee is long, too tight, and torn.
It's time for another one, Norman.
Hey, I think I
talked about this for the go bags. You don't want your bag with all your supplies in it to be camouflaged.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying?
Looking.
Yeah, you don't want a tactical looking bag for people to look at and be like, "Oh, what do you got in there?" You want a Pokemon bag. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Angry Bird.
If you can get a good one, yeah. You want to, if you get the colors of your bag should be blue, pink. It can be pink. You know, chartreuse or some shit. It should not be. Chartreuse is yellow green.
Okay.
It should not be
olive
drab, black.
Right.
No,
or if you get that, because one thing I've been thinking about is putting patches on there. Get you some patches, like I was saying, Marvel, some Superman patches, something like that. If you have a bag that's one of those colors, find a way to take away from that with, some cartoon, something like that.
The gray man theory, exactly.
Always be the gray man. Always.
That Bobby used to say that a lot when we used to train, like, don't picture a white person, a black person, you know what I'm saying? Picture a gray man. That's what you want to be, and you want to be ambiguous to how you have to move. You don't want to have to. You know what I'm saying? The person attacking you may look just like you. Don't want to stop in the middle of the night. The lights cut off. Like, oh man, it's a brother. Whoever it is, they're attacking you at the time. Right. So they great, and you gotta be the same thing.
I used to have a lot of people come to class. Come to my class, and they would say, "I'm used against the white man." The white man. I said, "You ever been attacked by a white man?"
And if the white man want to attack you, he probably gonna send you. He probably gonna send you at you.
Right. So just prepare yourself for gray. Yeah, bro. I don't care if they white, black. I'm gonna work them if I have to.
Right. Harmless looking and dangerous is best. Yes. I tell people all the time, when I go do business or something, and when I meet people, I give them the most how do I put this? The version of myself that I give when I'm dealing with people outside is the most harmless, non-violent person that I can. I don't even talk in this. Me and Baba talk about this all the time. I don't even use this tone of voice out there. My voice is higher when I talk out there. I'm usually like this, and I don't really have no bass. Hey man, yeah, whatever, bro. Yeah, fine, bro. Yeah, blah 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 blah. It's always like that because I want to. If I got to switch, I want to have the element of surprise. You know what I'm saying? So I try to move a certain way when I'm out there. Absolutely. And you should too.
129. Yeah, I was 129 pounds. I'm 6'2" now. But I was like 6'1.5".
Wow.
Yep.
129. We
had a 27-inch waist.
You got to get in fights when you're in Chicago and you that light ass. You got to get into it. You got to get into it.
Yeah, my father told me one time. No, it was my mother. She said, "You know, you're gonna have to fight, you know, pretty often." I said, "Well, because as skinny as you are, you're gonna have to deal with folks." And she was right. What's a good top 3 everyday carry for your pockets? Flashlight, a knife, okay, and the third could be variable. It could be a pistol. It could be a compass.
I think it's up to your personality and your proficiency and everything.
Right, but the 2 you should have for sure is a knife and a flashlight.
One thing Baba always tells us as far as knives or tools go is if you have one, you have none. If you have 2, then you have 1. So make sure that when you're purchasing knives, you got to think about the fact that what if I drop this? What if something happens and, you know, I get separated from one? You don't want to just be carrying one knife. Yeah. So
even in everyday life, you may lose one of them.
Right. Just or if it breaks, you know, you just, then you're
now done. If you out in the street and you're wearing 2 pistols,
that's what you call it.
You know, you're in the Wild West or something.
Right. Now I may have a pistol in my bag and one in my person or something like that, but I'm not gonna have, you know, more than likely I ain't got 238s on both sides of me.
Now, once I went out, I had 3 pistols on me. And I just felt like the Terminator or something. Like, no, I can't, you know, be walking around with this on like this, man. It's too much.
You got to shoot somebody. You got 3 pistols on you. Somebody got to shot
or shoot yourself. God damn it! You got to do something.
Y'all got to get shot. I ain't come out here for that.
And you carrying pistols, and you got to have the ammo on too.
That's a lot to have.
Now,
always, you got to run with that. Can you run with 2 pistols on you?
If you have a pistol on your person, have at least 1 magazine. If you have an automatic, if you have a revolver, you don't. But if you have a revolver, you should have a quick loader, and you should have that with 6 rounds in it. So you fire, then you can empty that, pop that in there. You got 6 more rounds, or you have another magazine if you have a semi-automatic.
Amanique, what's that sale that you saw? That gun that you wanted to ask Bob about, the pistol?
Oh, I think it's the Taurus. I was telling you Target, but I saw there's a gun shop up the street from where I live. It's a Taurus 9mm with 3 magazines for I think like $250.
That's good. That's real good.
Because she thought it was a different brand in
I realized when I passed by there again. Targus is like they make like computer bags or something like that, but no, it's a Taurus.
Okay, Targets don't make guns, Bob. With Targets, it seemed like I remember a gun. Targets. Targets or something like that. Is there a gun manufacturer named
Taurus? I think.
Yeah, it's Taurus. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Taurus, but the one you said before that you thought it was, I thought that was the actual gun manufacturer. I forgot what you said.
Oh no, I don't think. I think I was getting the names confused.
Okay, I might need to see about that. That's a good price.
I look the most armless when I used to carry with. Baba went overboard with it like T.I. Yeah, I went overboard. Yeah. Sound like my cop uncle. He has no less than 3 to 4 guns, goddamn, on him when not on duty. Wow.
He overcompensating.
Right.
He overcompensating for something. He must be.
Damn. What pistols on him?
Yeah, I used to have the Taurus G2C. I think that's a pocket Taurus, the slim fit. I think the G2C. That might be the other one, but I know one of them is a slim fit.
Taurus revolvers can shoot shotgun shells. I know there's I think it's called the Taurus General, something like that. Mm-hmm. It shoots 410 bore shotgun, not 12 gauge or nothing like that. Now it shoots 410 bore shells, which are really thin shells. Yeah. You got a lot of power to that kick though when you talk about shooting from a revolver.
Which one is that?
I think it's the Taurus General or something like that. There are 2 guns. There's the Defender and there's the General.
The Judge.
Judge from Smith & Wesson and from
one on for Smith & Wesson, one on for Taurus. I think the Judge and the Defender.
And they shoot 410 bore shells and they can shoot 357 Magnum shells. Well, any revolver that shoots a 38 can shoot a 357 Magnum. Really.
First gun I ever had was a 410. Yep.
I keep a Bowie knife on me when I'm out in my backyard chilling, good or not, or not. Yeah, I mean, a Bowie knife is
You only keep one.
Bowie knife is a great American knife, right? But it's about the size of a small damn sword. So it's big. So you ain't gonna be covert with that mug.
Right. Make sure you know how to handle it.
Yeah. You definitely want to make sure you know how to handle it because it can get away from you easy.
When we say make sure you know how to handle it, we're talking about deployment. How fast and how accurate can you get it out ready in front of you, ready to go to work? And
then go to work. We can't have them in Cali. They're considered an assault gun. Wow. The Judge and the Defender.
Dang.
Wow. I'd be better off not carrying a gun. Too much of an effective shooter for real. Brittany Bowman, a Bowie knife, you ready? Right. She. I hope it's sharpened because a lot of people have Bowie knives and K-bars. K-bars is a knife from the Marines. And they be dull as hell because they got them from an uncle who never sharpened the damn thing, or they got it from some place that was using it like a show, really. Mm-hmm. Just protection from like a rabbit coon or whatever. I wouldn't try to cut a coon if it's coming at me. And it's a rabbit.
Depends on what kind of coon it is.
It's rabbit. Yeah. I mean, a rabbit coon, like a coon. Black person, I'd use it. A rabbit cocoon, a rabbit raccoon.
No.
I just run.
Yeah, if you can run because first of all, rabbit raccoon is not as fast as you when you're scared, at least. But also, a rabbit raccoon, man, depending on how big they are, man, they're reflexes. They are very fast and they can bite you.
You trying to cut it with a blade?
A big blade, you almost better off with a smaller blade than a big boy blade because that's your cuts ain't gonna be coming that fast. Right. Animals move very fast. Wild animals even faster. So be careful with that. I'd rather have a little knife and move faster with the little knife, but that boy, you're gonna have to be.
If you're going against a raccoon, a rabbit raccoon will give you problems. Yeah. I can't post it on here. There's I posted it before. We did a show on human beings and fighting against animals.
Right.
And it's some strange stuff out. 6% believe that they can fight a grizzly bear.
Do you know Mike Tyson?
8% believe that they could fight a gorilla.
At the height of Mike Tyson's career, he wanted to pay the zookeeper $100,000 to let the silverback out so he could fight him.
He'd have got his ass whooped.
He'd have got his own limbs tore apart. But
right.
That's a delusion that somebody who even trained can have sometimes, because he's trained in the sport. That still ain't real life.
Right. Shit. Me, I trained for real life. I'm not fighting a gorilla.
Because you train for real life. He boxing.
Right.
You're knocking motherfuckers out of the boxing ring. He's delusional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not real life. I won't even entertain that.
There's no way I'm fighting a gorilla. I'm not fighting a bear. Not fighting a goose. Not fighting none of that. These geese be around here, and these swans be around my house. Man, swan is big as hell. I'm like, hell no. So the swan is the biggest goose, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm not a goose. A swan was it had my wife scared, to get out of the car once, right? So I said, I'm coming outside, So she had called me. I came outside and I said, okay, I'm gonna distract the goose while y'all get out of the car and break. That didn't work. That goose, the swan, it was walking towards me and jive. I said, hey, man, hey, what you want to do? Shit. I said, oh, no. I said, stay in that car, dear. Stay in that car. I moved around to the other side of the car. It started coming around.
Hey, you gotta be a wild.
So I went in the house. I got some pumpkin seeds, and then I threw the pumpkin seeds to distract it. So it went for the pumpkin seeds, and then my wife and
there you
the
go.
baby get out. I'm like, man, shit. Well, I really am not a good.
Didn't say anything about anyway. Yeah, a wild turkey. I'll tell you as a motherfucking a small wild a pig that's grown in the wild. Ain't nothing to play with.
I mean, it's funny. We were doing some spiritual work, and I almost soon had to grab a pig. It took him so my wife kept telling me, get the pig out of the cage for him. I said, no, he's going to do it. He's got to do it. And it took him about 2 hours to get that pig out because he was scared of the mud. And the pig was gentle, it was a baby. It was a baby too. And it was, he, I'm from New York. I'm not used to this, man. Get your New York behind that cage and get that pig out of there.
Norman Henderson, I can understand you. He said he's not a gun enthusiast, even though he didn't use prolific, but he's an effective shooter. So yeah,
I saw a hilarious video of a white man fighting a young deer. Deer kept coming. Yeah, I saw that video when he was kid.
Yeah, that deer was coming at his ass.
And was telling wife, why is he so mean? It was just on this. It was standing on this square.
Yeah, you wouldn't even be doing that with a buck. A young deer, yeah, but a buck would tear your ass to pieces.
I saw a dude fighting a kangaroo.
Oh yeah,
and yes, he was losing too.
Yeah,
kangaroo got muscles like a mug.
Mm-hmm. And if
it grabbed it, it was hitting. It wasn't trying to kick him and rip it, because what kangaroos actually do, they kick you and they rip your intestines. They rip your belly open, your intestines come out. That's what they really do.
You don't see videos of that, but that happens more often than the person just punching the kangaroo. More often than not, they get kicked and get all this slid over to
and that's what it wasn't. That kangaroo wasn't trying to be violent. It wanted his dog.
Right.
It wanted his dog. I don't know what it's going to do to because the kangaroos don't eat meat. But it kept messing with the dog. I guess it was like, hey, there's another animal that's going to grapple with it, a little bit. But then the dude came over and punched the damn kangaroo. So it's all right. Come on, bah, bah, bah. Man, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna. Y'all not gonna have me get no video of me getting knocked out or something by a kangaroo. It can't happen. It ain't gonna happen.
No, I ain't
And
messing
that
with no
tail is
animal.
strong as fuck. Who a kangaroo's tail? I imagine. I don't know if they attack with their tail, but
Yeah,
they could.
I'm a love animals. I ain't trying to fight none of them.
No.
That ain't my style. I never ran from a dog. All the dogs that used to chase my friends and everybody, I never ran from a dog. The dog never chased me.
A grizzly bear, not a grizzly bear, a polar bear,
Oh my goodness.
which is bigger actually than a grizzly bear. People see that and they think that's gentle. I don't know why people think animals are gentle.
They're the most vicious, polar bears.
Yeah, now a gorilla is actually gentle. A polar bear is not.
Right. Polar bears come after you.
Right.
Even a lot of grizzlies might not attack you if they see you. You have to violate their space, their area. You might not know their area, but you might
have something you're interested in.
Right. But a polar bear, see your ass, it's coming for you. It's not going to wait for you. It's coming for your ass.
It's interesting. One of our
it's not just Europeans who think like that. Somebody think that way. It's not just Europeans. It's black folk a lot of time nowadays be doing some silly stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking he's talking about polar bears coming for you.
No, he's talking about Europeans think that way about animals are gentle.
Yeah.
The loving.
No, I don't think they think the animals are gentle. I just think they feel like they have dominance over the animals. So
well, they do, but with some, some are the kale eating, mushroom smoking. They think they can sit with the grizzly bear and chill. There's a video of this dude and his woman. They went out to the grizzly bears. The grizzly, they're like, here's the grizzly bear. See it? He's our friend. That grizzly bear is your friend. And that grizzly bear mauled them both and killed them. Huh?
Okay. Oh, I was asking if that was Grizzly Man. There's a documentary called.
Yeah.
It came out about maybe close to 20 years ago, and this guy followed grizzly bears around. I think sometimes he would have a woman with him, but eventually he died. Eventually he got killed by a grizzly bear. But a whole documentary.
It's a video going viral now for this baby leopard. They got a baby leopard, and they introducing it on the show. And they got this daughter, her mother, and they got the two trainers. One is a woman sitting down, and the man brings the baby leopard out there. And the other trainer takes the baby from the mother, has the baby out like this, like a sandwich for the damn leopard. And the leopard comes up and try to motherfucker swipe the shit out the baby and try to bite the motherfucking leg. And so the mother jerks back the child, and the lady trainer is going to take the child back and say, no, don't be afraid. No. And have the child and take the child from the mother. Tell her, it's okay. You better.
Right.
Delusional.
Timothy Treadwell. That's right. Emmanuel Briggs. Timothy Treadwell. That was the name of the person who made the Grizzly Man documentary.
Yeah, I do think.
Check it out. If you got some kind of feeling about bears being harmless, check out Grizzly Man.
I think white people for the same thing. I think white humans for their services in the name of curiosity. We know so much about nature because I do. They know how hot is this shit. Let me find out. Look, do sharks really attack you if you got on green? Let's find out. I appreciate all that shit. Like, cause we not doing that shit. We not doing that shit. Appreciate it.
They think they're Dr. Doolittle speak to animals. Exactly.
Hey man, if you love it, if you like it, I love it. Ain't that what they say?
Grizzly Man, what's the name of the documentary? Do you know?
That's the name, Grizzly Man. I think was the name of the documentary. That's the name of it, Grizzly Man.
Yep.
I think they chopped it up and made it into a show after a few years on one of the Discovery Channel or something like that. They chopped the documentary up and made it because it's really long. He messed around with them for a long time. They gave him grace, but eventually one of them took him out. And then
it's gonna be some dude who follows the squirrels or something, and the squirrel's gonna tear his ass up and get tired of him falling. Now, when I was at Howard, we were walking, and there was a squirrel in the middle of the walkway, right? And so my friend Bill, he stomped at the squirrel. The squirrel rose up, and then he stomped again, and the squirrel ran at him. Had Bill running away. The squirrel had Bill running. I said, hell no, you were running from a squirrel, but that squirrel would have tore his ass up if he had tried to stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrel had enough of this shit.
And it's quick. It ran, and so you all know, squirrels are the highest carriers of rabies of any animal.
Yeah, because they can transport it and not have it themselves and all that.
And they give it to pigeons, they give it to different animals and stuff, but squirrels are the largest carriers of rabies, man.
Great show, ladies.
Yes, great show. Crunk from Emperor's New Groove. I don't know who that is. That was Sinister Super Squirrel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was inspired by that. I wrote a story about squirrels once attacking this. It was this guy, he was a predator. He was planning to grab this woman. And she's running, and the man is running it's called 36 paces. He's running in pace with her, right? But there are squirrels above them that are running through the trees. And the squirrels, it begins to look like a dark cloud over the sky. So many squirrels. And the squirrels tear him up. They leave nothing but his clothes, right? And his bones. And she doesn't even realize it. She got music playing. And she runs to her house, gets in the house and everything. And she goes to her shrine and prays. And she prays for her old teacher. She prays who's passed on. She prays in honor of her. And her name was E.I. something I wrote. And I said, AKA Squirrel. So really she was protecting the girl while she was running, but through squirrels. And I got that idea from when Bill was chased. And then when I was working at Emory University, I was walking down the walkway, and there were about 500 squirrels out there. And there was a woman reading the book. I don't even think she noticed them. Or maybe she's just used to them. I'm like, God damn, there's a lot of squirrels. And that's when I went home and wrote that. Squirrel. Should Black martial arts schools and weapons group do affordable seminars as often as possible together?
I would say
martial arts schools. I did Day with the Masters, where I always do myself and another master from another school, or two masters from two other schools work together. But rarely do you have that go on. You rarely have. Now, I've had some martial artists I've written to and said, I'd like to invite you to do Day with the Masters, blah, blah, blah. Give them links to where they can see what I do, so they ain't just got some joker asking them. And those dudes don't even answer. It's from a specific martial art. They won't even answer because they only work with themselves.
In other words, it's hard to do because most people are on bullshit, and they don't want to work with you if you ain't on bullshit, because then they look like they're on bullshit. They can't look authentic if they with somebody that's doing the real shit. So it's too hard. It's really hard for schools to come. Most schools, if you're about something, it's hard to find another partner that's about something.
Yeah, you have to really vet carefully who you work with, basically.
I just seen a gun person, IG gun thing, and I swear they looking at our show and taking the titles and taking the stuff and remixing them for their own little reels. I just seen one.
It's a gun Instagram?
gun Instagram. They put up a post a day about concealment versus cover, and I was just like, this is start. Cause I commented on their thing before. They was talking about they had which pistol do you prefer for home protection, and I said none. I would have a shotgun. I wouldn't have a pistol. So then it was like, well, what's your favorite shotgun? And I said, well, the Moss, so and so and so. Then they ain't comment no more because I guess they say, oh, he knew what he was talking about. Let him leave him alone. And yeah, I think so. A lot of these people don't really have it. It's just like everything else in the world, man. With like, if you bout something, you recognize the people who ain't about it, and they recognize that you are about it, and they try to stay away from it. So,
but steal your stuff.
But steal your stuff, yeah, because they know it's real. So they'll from the distance they'll always try to grasp, making you know what it is. Y'all know.
Now I will say, like this show, maybe a martial artist is concerned about balance, so they will do a show about balance.
All right.
When you start hearing little things that you say, little quips you say and stuff like that, that's when it's a problem.
Jay-Z said it best, like them fuck the style, they jacking our flame. God, don't take my quotes and shit. We work for this shit.
Yeah, I had a brother. I mean, he had African Martial Arts Institute, but his African was spelled with a C instead of a K.
Yeah.
That's an insult, man.
So when I open up my Indigenous Martial Arts Institute, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling Barbara that I'm taking all the shit, and you know what I'm saying? Remix. It's a difference. It's a difference. Y'all be safe, man.
All right, y'all be safe. Be safe out here. Be safe inside. Be safe from the doggone squirrels and geese and raccoons and shit.
Grizzly bears.
Yeah,
don't get the stuff out of GNC.
Be safe out here and stay black or whatever it is that you may be.
Yeah, bro.
Peace.
Mix.
Peace.
Yeah, not mixed. It was something else that we said. It was mixed, but it was something else. But yeah, those two. Yeah, stay safe. Peace.
Peace. Love y'all.
Thank you. Subscribe.
29.
Yeah, mash the like button. Mash that like button.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Patreon.